Good late afternoon, everybody. Movie Fan 2002 here, and now it's time for the video you've all been waiting for. It's time for me to give you guys my thoughts on the announcements that were made during this year's D23 Expo. More specifically, the big D23 Expo that happens every other year. Now, I'm not going to talk about everything that happened here. I'm only going to be talking about the stuff that was shown, announced, and talked about at the Entertainment Showcase on Friday night, on Friday, August 14th, and the Experience Showcase on Saturday, August 15th. So without further ado, let's go wasting time and get started. This won't be shown in any chronological order. This will be going in the order that will be shown from what was presented on the websites. I'll have links to the websites that I'm reading them from in the description. And if any of these have trailers, then I'll send links to them down in the description below if you guys want to check those out. Anyways, first things first, we got the movies that have been announced and previewed. First things first, they got a sneak peek of concept art of Incredibles 3, which that film is set to hit theaters in June of 2028, where although Brad Bird will be writing the script, it will be directed by Peter Sohn. It didn't show that much, but from what it said it'll be focusing now on Violet and Dash, who are trying to prove that they can be big-time supers like their parents. Which does seem pretty cool, though I did also hear the announcement a while back that they're not going to be aged up, especially from Brad Bird. I'm honestly a bit split on this. On one hand, I'm still looking forward to the film, but I kind of wanted them to age up. I gave it a pass with the second film because it was set immediately afterwards, but for the third movie, I don't know. I'm still looking forward to the film, just that's the one thing I'm just split on. Then next up we have is the new Simpsons movie, because for a while now we heard we were getting a new Simpsons film, because it was announced back in, I think it was around September of last year, around my birthday. It said they were announcing a new Simpsons film that was going to be coming out. It was supposed to come out on the same day as a Minecraft movie 2, or it says a Minecraft sequel as it's now being called, but it's now coming out on September 3rd of next year, which does seem pretty funny. I didn't see any clips from it yet, but I am looking forward to checking that out. Here's hoping David Silverman will be involved within the production, because either way, I'm looking forward to it. I really liked the first movie, so I can't wait to see what the sequel has in store. It's gonna be a riot. Then we have The Princess Diaries 3, which is the long-awaited third installment of the Princess Diaries movies. It's been a while since I last seen the first two, but I'm surprised that we're getting another one. Yeah, and it's pretty cool that we're getting this. And it's nice to bring back Anne Hathaway to reprise her role, which is after coming out the success of The Odyssey and just recently The End of Oak Street, which just came out this past weekend. I have yet to see the film, but I'll hopefully see it soon. Then we got a little sneak peek for an upcoming movie, Pixar's more original films called Ghost Market, which will be their next film after Gato. And from what I saw, it looks pretty good. Honestly, it looks pretty interesting. I am intrigued to see what this film has in store, especially that this is a more original and a more of a haunted market that's set in Hawaii. I'm intrigued. I'm trying to see what this film has in store, especially with this being their first ghost movie. And speaking of Gato, considering I mentioned earlier, guess what's next? They talked a bit about Gato at D23, where they showed a clip from the movie and showed a new teaser for the film. That looks pretty good. Then there is Coco 2, and to be honest, as much as I love the first film, I don't really see the point of us getting a sequel to it. I don't think we even need a sequel. Oh well, maybe it could turn out to be a surprise. I was wrong about Toy Story 5, so there you go. Then we have the Bluey movie. Now, this one gained a bit of strong word of mouth. And what I mean by that, that the reactions were very mixed, where some were either excited or others were divisive because of the art style. Which I could sort of understand why, but then there were those on the internet who were complaining because they wanted to do another thing similar to Shrek 5. Oh, it's it needs the ugly Sonic treatment. I feel like that's a big problem, when it came to the ugly Sonic thing. Yes, it worked with that one because it was terrifying. We can most certainly agree on that. But everything following afterwards, say oh, it looks bad, needs to be done. I'm dude, it doesn't look that awful. Give it a chance. And besides, and yes, it would have been cool to see it in 2D instead of 3D, but we have to take what we can get. I might see the film, but that also depends on time being. Then we have the live-action remake of Tangled, which I know some people are not entirely enthusiastic about that film, but at the same time, people are excited to see Catherine Hahn as Mother Gothel. I most certainly am. In fact, she even came out to talk a bit about the movie and show a bit of herself as well. So I'll say this though, I am intrigued to check the movie out for her specifically. At least there are some people who are interested in seeing the Tangled remake. And who knows, maybe it could turn out to be a nice surprise. Hopefully it's better than the Moana remake, that's for certain. Then they showed a bit of Ice Age Boiling Point. to talk a bit about the film. I'm not entirely enthusiastic about it. In fact, I don't even think I'm going to be seeing it in theaters, but at least just be better than the fourth and fifth film and that Buck Wild spin-off movie that unfortunately started Crash and Eddie. Please be at least somewhere close to the levels of the second and third film. That's all I'm asking. Then they gave a little bit of a sneak peek of the live-action Lilo and Stitch film where it's going to introduce Angel. Oh, by the way, a quick side note: there's going to be an animated Lilo and Stitch short that'll be shown in front of Hex in November. More about that when I get to it. Then Disney talks a bit about their next movie, which will be a film called their next original film, which is Clay, which is set to hit theaters in November of 2028, most likely around Thanksgiving. And will be directed by one of the directors of Hex, and it stars the Academy Award winner Kieran Culkin as the Misfit Flip. Then they talked a bit about Star Wars Starfighter, which that movie's coming out on May 28th of 2027. And before you guys ask, no, they did not talk about anything involving the other films of the original Star Wars trilogy getting remastered in the original theatrical cuts, unfortunately, as of yet. Although you never know what could happen within the coming months prior to it. They probably will talk about something about that. Also, what I really liked about the poster is that they showed the text in the style of the original Star Wars title, back during the promotional material of the film. I thought that was very nice, as next year will be 50 years for the original film, so that's pretty cool. Then there was a bit about Hex that they talked about, and I will admit, from the new footage that I saw, it looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it actually looks a little bit better than what was shown previously. Sure, I'm not calling it an Owl House ripoff either, but I also do understand why some people are not entirely enthusiastic about it. Let's just hope the film turns out to be good, then it could be an indicator that Disney is starting to get back on the right foot again. After Zootopia 2. Oh, and speaking of Zootopia, they even announced the third movie's in the works. I guess that sort of makes sense given its production at the box office, but hey, it's nice to know that we have a third movie coming out very soon. And plus, with how the second film in the end credits ended, I am intrigued to see what the third movie had in store, because the first two films were freaking great, so yeah, I'm full of confidence about Zootopia 3. And speaking of third installments from Disney, they then showed a bit about Frozen 3, which was one of the ones that people were most intrigued about, and where Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth saying a new rendition of Frozen Heart, which kind of reminded me a bit of the version of Misty Mountains from The Hobbit and Unexpected Journey. I mean, listen to yourself so you can see what I mean.
So cut through the heart, cold and clear, strike for love and strike for fear. There's beauty and there's danger. Split the ice apart, beware the frozen heart.
The pines were roaring were moaning in the night. The fire was red, it flaming spread.
Then Josh Gad came out and they talked a bit about the movie, even showed a clip, and he revealed a mysterious new villain who also has ice powers. And yeah, this looks like it's going to be an actual villain this time compared to the other two, although the second film didn't necessarily have a villain. But yes, it does look pretty intriguing. I am intrigued to see what the film has in store. I mean, I do need to see more if I want to get hyped up for it, but yeah, I think it could be something pretty cool. Now let's talk about some of the Marvel stuff. First of all, in case you're wondering, yes, they announced the remaining of the X-Men cast, where Jake Schreier, the director of Thunderbolts, will be directing the film, so I have full confidence the movie will be awesome. It'll be the movie to kickstart the Mutant Saga, which makes sense. It's the Mutant Saga, you gotta start off with the X-Men. And for the cast, obviously Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey, so after we start on Spider-Man Brand New Day, which yeah, she pretty much deserves to be part of there. Then we have Chris Abbott as Professor X, aka Charles Xavier. Yeah, then we have Maya Bode as Storm. Indy Naverdi, aka the actress who played Nikki in Obsession, is playing Rogue. Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. Kit Connor playing Cyclops, which he kind of predicted. And Adam Driver, aka Kylo Ren, is playing Nathaniel Milbury, aka Mr. Sinister. That is freaking awesome. Yeah, this is a pretty cool cast. Although I pretty much know for sure these aren't going to be the only mutants. And whoever aren't introduced in this movie will be introduced later down the road. After all, this is the Mutant Saga. So I am intrigued to see what they have in store for. And I have no doubt they're going to absolutely deliver with this film. So yeah, can't wait to see what Jake does with this movie. And speaking of the X-Men, there's of course the new special look at Avengers Doomsday. Now, this trailer was shown at San Diego Comic-Con, but this was officially released to the public a few weeks later. And I already did a community post about it, but in case you missed it, if there was any trailer I would have reacted to, it would have most certainly been this. But, my god. Even though I liked that first trailer, I feel like this one should have been our first official trailer of the film because, damn, this was damn impressive. It's now getting me more hyped up to see the movie. Now I get what we're going on, because like this movie is centered on Doctor Doom, and it gets me so excited. And any concerns I had of RDJ playing Victor Von Doom is now out the window, because my god, it looks like he's gonna nail it in this movie. I just cannot wait for December 18th, man. December 18th is Doomsday, or should I say Doomsday, because well, let's be honest, I'm sure many of us are going to do a double feature that day of both this film and Avengers Doomsday. Although, I think I'm going to do Doom Part 3 first, then do Avengers Doomsday second. I'm freaking hyped. So yeah, Avengers Doomsday is going to pretty much be amazing, and from the looks of it, probably be a bit similar with Infinity War, with how Doctor Doom is pretty much going to be the main focus of the film, most likely the main character, much like how Thanos was the main villain of Infinity War and also the main character. Then Endgame focused on the heroes, mainly the Avengers. Then Secret Wars will focus on the heroes as well, especially with Battleworld involved, at least from what I read in the comics. So I guess that probably means Spider-Man will be in Secret Wars. Hopefully. We'll see what happens next year. We'll give him by the end credits scene, at least. Now, those are all the movie announcements. Now for the TV stuff were announced. Here's one I was not expecting. An announcement of a Kingdom Hearts anime coming to Disney Channel and Disney Plus. When I read that, I was like, whoa. Really? A Kingdom Hearts anime? That's awesome. I mean, I'm surprised it took us this long to actually get a Kingdom Hearts related series, but here it is. Oh my god, I'm freaking hyped for this. Also, on a side note, they even announced Kingdom Hearts 4, so that's also freaking cool. A date has yet to be released, but it said it's supposed to come out sometime, I believe next year, but sometime very soon. We'll see when it comes out. Then we got a sneak peek at Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 3. Oh yeah, this looks pretty cool, which will be airing on Disney Plus on November 20th, so 5 days before Hex comes to theaters. Then we got a sneak peek at the Oswald miniseries that is actually directed by Jon Favreau, and the show features live action footage and hand-drawn animation, and will be its own miniseries that focuses on one of Walt Disney's first characters in the modern day. And it's coming out in 2027, which is fitting because it will be 100 years for Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Then we got a little teaser at Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2. That's to come out sometime in January. I mean, that looks pretty cool, but I'm more excited about what's next for Tom Holland Spider-Man and, of course, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Then we got a sneak peek at Ahsoka Season 2, they even released a trailer, and that looked pretty cool. It makes me really excited to see what Season 2 has in store, even though it did took us this long to finally get it, but hey, it's here now, so here's hoping it's worth the wait. And speaking of shows, then we have Vision Quest, which is going to be the final chapter of the Wanda trilogy with WandaVision and Agatha all along. I think I might be rewatching those shows beforehand, as they are at least one season, but that also does depend on the timing. It does look pretty cool, and we'll see what it has in store. And that's all the movies and shows they announced on Friday night, and also talked a bit more about. Now for the announcements that were made during the Experience Showcase on Saturday night. And we're going to start off in Walt Disney World. Anyways, they announced some stuff like how the Carousel of Progress will have some new innovations being added to it. They're going to be adding the Yeti back into Expedition Everest at Walt Disney World. That's pretty cool. Then Spaceship Earth being reimagined at Epcot. That's pretty cool. Then Indiana Jones gets his new ride at Animal Kingdom called Indiana Jones and the Myth of the Jade Serpent. And it also gives behind-the-scenes look at the stunning facade of Indiana Jones and how it's being rendered and all that stuff. Harrison Ford will be Indiana Jones in the ride, so he'll be back on the adventure. Then there'll be an announcement for a new Tropical America's Animal Carousel. All Disney characters revealed for the Tropical Animals Carousel, which I think features a bunch of Disney characters from all across the world. Then we got a bit more on the Encanto ride that's coming to Animal Kingdom, which looks pretty cool. It's called Antonio Fiesta de Encanto. Then a bit more of the Cars Ridge Run Rally is the main attraction of Piston Peak National Park in the Magic Kingdom. Looks freaking cool and awesome to see. Then there's actually a ride based on Miss Fritter's attraction from that area in the third Cars movie. Also really cool to see. Then there's the whole Monstropolis area, which is getting more and more of an update. And I know what you're all wondering. What about the whole Muppet Theater thing? Despite the fact that the Muppets are going to have a new attraction there. I mean, although you can just put the show on Disney Plus. I mean, it's not that hard with the whole Well, it's now gonna be the Globe Theater at Monstropolis, and it's gonna be called Welcome to Monstropolis show. So I'm guessing it's gonna be like its own 3D show. Oh, there, or maybe it would be like its own stand-up show. Disney has announced more stuff involving the Villains Land, which is gonna be freaking awesome. So there'll be some rides based on the villains at the Villains Land, which is gonna be so freaking cool at the Magic Kingdom. Then Disney announces details on the Harryhausen, including the sushi slinging octopus animatronic, which, you know, the sushi who was at Harryhausen. The reimagined Tomorrowland finally announced for Disneyland. That is freaking cool. There's going to be the full reimagining of Tomorrowland at Disneyland will finally be happening after a very long time. What will be part about that? Then Dreamfinder is actually returning to Journey to Imagination. That is freaking cool to see. Then we got a little sneak peek at the whole load and launch area for the Monsters Inc. door coaster under construction. Freaking awesome. Cannot wait for that type of ride. That's gonna be like an insane ride. Like, definitely based on the thrilling, exciting ride as shown in the film, which Monstropolis sets to open in 2027. That's enough about that. Let's move on to Disneyland Resorts. Yeah, Disney's bringing back the original World of Color and Magic Happens parade in 2027. Then there's going to be the Coco ride, which will be based on like some of the stuff for the movie and the new film. And then for the big one is definitely the stuff at Avengers Campus. Rides open in 2028. First things first, we got a bit more at Star Flight Lab. That's going to be freaking awesome to watch. It'll be like a little 3D ride. And then there's the big one, the Avengers Infinity Defense, which looks freaking awesome, like from the trailers. And they were even bringing back some of the cast, including Robert Downey Jr., Anthony as Tony Stark, Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson / Captain America, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, and Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. So yeah, it'll be great to see them back in their roles again and like them helping out. It's gonna be a freaking awesome time. I cannot wait for this ride, man. Yeah, definitely. If I do plan about going back to Disneyland sometime soon, it'll be like around the time that opens in 2028, like afterwards, because I definitely want to get on that ride. That ride looks freaking awesome. I need that ride right now, man. It just feels so good to be a Marvel fan again. But now, as for Around the World, to wrap things up, in Disneyland Paris, Hyperspace Mountain is closing to return to the original Space Mountain from Earth to Moon, which that's going to be freaking cool. I don't really know much about the Disneyland stuff outside of the US. New look at Avengers Pavilion Tomorrowland at Hong Kong Disneyland. That's cool, and it includes a Spider-Man ride. Then we have the Lion King ride that they're making at Disneyland. And remember I said a while back that was going to be based on the 2019 movie? I was sort of right, but also wrong, because this one will be thankfully based more on the original film, which is great. Then there'll be a Wreck-It Ralph Sugar Rush ride being developed. It's going to be at Tokyo Sea Disneyland. That'll be freaking cool to see. Finally, to wrap it all up, Tinkerbell will be part of the Disney Cruise Line for something important, and in 2029, and that's about it. Those are all the major announcements that they announced at this year's D23, and it's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. There is the whole awards stuff, but that's about it. So yeah, I think we got some pretty exciting announcements for this year, and lower stuff I'm really looking forward to in the future. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and let me know what do you guys think of the announcements that we got this year. Comment down below and let me know. Stay tuned, I've got some other videos coming away. I do have like a couple like a double review of the both My Adventures with Superman Season 3 and X-Men 97 Season 2 coming very, very soon. I don't know when, but it will be soon. And I'll try to make them be as like, well, a bit more condensed, but still clear and concise as possible. But until those videos come, if you'd like to be part of this channel, all you have to do is click that subscribe button down below. Like this video if you really enjoy it, and until next time, peace and take care.